In another affair to forge a hostage release and truce in the 7-month war, delegations from Hamas and Israel are back at the negotiating table in Cairo. Israel's close ally Washington, which is also involved in the negotiations along with Qatar and Egypt, says it is hopeful that the two sides can close the remaining gaps. Although Hamas officials have warned Israel that the talks in Cairo will be their last chance to free the estimated 128 hostages still held in Gaza. In addition to that, Hamas official Osama Hamdan has also warned that if Israel's military aggression continues in Rafah, there will be no ceasefire deal.
If the aggression continues, there will be no ceasefire, because Israelis are the ones attacking and shooting. It is normal for the resistance to respond to this aggression, to respond in defense and to respond in order to defeat the occupation.
The latest attempt to achieve a truce in the ongoing war comes at a time when Israel sent tanks into Rafah in southern Gaza, seizing the border crossing with Egypt in an operation the United Nations said denied it access to key humanitarian passage. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says the military's capture of the Gaza side of the Rafah crossing is an important step towards dismantling Hamas. Israel believes Rafah is where 4 Hamas battalions are stationed. Tuesday's capture of the crossing, which is one of the main channels for humanitarian aid to the territory, puts Israel in full control of Gaza's borders for the first time since it withdrew troops in 2005. According to Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, Israel will continue its operation in the southern Gaza city of Rafah until Hamas are destroyed in the area or they hand over the Israeli hostages it still holds.
Yesterday, I directed the IDF to enter the Rafah area, take the crossing and carry out its mission. This operation will continue until we eliminate Hamas in the Rafah area and the entire Gaza Strip, or until the first hostage returns. We are willing to make compromises in order to bring back hostages, but if that option is removed, we will go on and deepen the operation. This will happen all over the Strip, in the south, in the center, and in the north. We know that Hamas only responds to force.
For more on this, we were earlier joined by Hanania Naftali from Tel Aviv. He is a leading Israeli expert on Middle East affairs and human rights activist. Let's listen to what he had to say on this.
Well, this is absolutely devastating to see, first of all, the level of destruction that Hamas brought to the Gaza Strip when it waged war against Israel, because keep in mind that Israel did not start this war. And there are talks about lack of humanitarian aid, lack of a lot of supplies. This is not true. Tons of humanitarian aid is crossing from Israel into the Gaza Strip. Actually, mere days ago, Hamas bombed the very border crossing, Israeli border crossing, from which humanitarian aid is crossing into the Gaza Strip. So the question that you have to ask yourselves is how come they run out of everything in Gaza except for rockets? But the feeling of us Israelis is that generally we wish for peace. We don't hate Palestinian people. Our problem is with Hamas. And this is something that the Israel Defense Forces is instructing and commanding its soldiers. You are not targeting Palestinian civilians. You are targeting Hamas terrorists that are abusing the Palestinian people. Just a few days ago, they shot Palestinian civilians on the allegation of stealing aid, while they every day steal humanitarian aid. Point is, they don't care for Palestinian lives.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.